makes the play, and that's the ball game. Tampa Bay puts up a 10 spot in back-to-back games to take the first two of this 4-game series, and the two teams are tied in the wild card race.
And every time the Blue Jays would answer, they would score, Tampa Bay would answer. It's up to Alek Manoah tomorrow. We've seen this before from him, pitching big games in must-win games for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays need a W, and they need a big game from Alek tomorrow.
Manoah has done it before. Randy Arozarena with a big night, 6 RBIs. We'll be right back here tomorrow night. Thanks for watching, folks. Stay tuned. Sportsnet Central is next. Here's Jesse and Danielle.
We have all kinds of baseball to appease your appetite on the network. You can watch the Mariners and Royals on Sportsnet 1 while the Guardians are playing the Rangers on Sportsnet Now. But of course, here on Sportsnet Central, we will be dissecting all things Jays and Rays. Unfortunately, Toronto falling to Tampa 10-6. Welcome inside our studios. Jesse and Danielle joining you. And Jesse, you had to keep your head in a swivel. It felt all game.
Yeah.
Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until Randy Arozarena just roared in the 8th, 6 RBI on the night, and Tampa came away with a pretty critical one for Toronto.
I was trying to think of the best way to describe that 8th inning and then leave it to Buck Martinez to sum it up perfectly. Paper cuts.
Yeah.
It was paper cuts. I mean,
Little.
I would argue the first one came from home plate ump Tom Hallion when he didn't give Jimmy Garcia that call, but the rest of that inning was just classic Rays baseball that we've seen over the years. With more on this ball game, let's send it to Hazel May and Joe Siddall.
Dee and Jesse, thank you very much. Yeah, this one did go back and forth until the Rays blew it open there in the 8th inning. The bullpen called into action early once again after Mitch White goes 4 innings. We saw Anthony Bass, Joe, for the first time in a week, and he did show some signs of rust.
Yeah, Tim Mesa came in on relief, and he struggled himself. Tim's been very good, much improved, and it looked like he was locking it in. He gets in trouble. So John Schneider goes down for Anthony Bass, and the reason this is a great matchup because Anthony Bass is excellent against right-handed pitchers. So that's the matchup you're looking for against right-handed hitters. And Arozarena at the plate, this is the guy you want. He is a slider machine. That's his best pitch. He throws it a ton. So he gets ahead. It's 0-2. What do you do now? You want to bury it, right? Good idea right there. He doesn't chase. Now bury this one. No, he left it up, out over the plate. When you spin the baseball and you don't get that good feel, and that could be a result of not pitching in about a week, maybe you lose. It's a feel pitch. You have to have it, but he left it up and out over the plate. Tough pitch right here. Didn't get the call, but Hazel, I will never complain about an umpire. John Schneider is angry, but you know what you got to do? You have to overcome it and make a better pitch. And instead, he got beat with his changeup, rolling into right field. And I thought maybe Jimmy would go to the heater a little bit more. When I want a swing and miss or a punch out in a critical situation, I like to go to his fastball. He went to the changeup, more of a fly ball pitch, not very deep at all. Teoscar got an okay position, but either way, the throw is offline. And then this was the final nail once again off the bat of Arozarena, another off-speed pitch, getting beat with the secondary pitches. But this bullpen, it's going to be a real issue down the stretch. This has been a recurring theme. This bullpen had been very good, and I think it's caught all of us off guard.
First home run allowed by Bass, by the way, against a right-handed hitter since August 4th, 2021. So big picture, the bullpen lugging in a ton of innings. Who can John Schneider rely on in these final and very important games?
Who can you rely on right now, Hazel? Because right now, I'm not sure there are too many guys down there that you can just hand the ball to and know that the game is going to end nicely. And, you know, you look at the back end. Start from the back. Start with Jordan Romano. He's having his struggles. The Blue Jays have to hope their closer corrects that down the stretch, because if he doesn't, you're not going anywhere in October. So Jordan Romano, for me, is number one. But when you back it up, you look at Garcia and Bass right now. Those are your two key guys. If you want to throw Mesa into that mix, that's your 7, 8, 9, basically, if you need to close out a ball game. And it's not good right now. Anthony Bass joined that tonight with his performance because he hadn't pitched in a week. But when you've got your big boys not performing, you're in big trouble. When you get down to the Richards and Simber and Phelps, if they're struggling, you hope that you can overcome that in a playoff game. You certainly hope your starter in Mitch White's not going 4 innings, and that's why you have Mr. Manoah going tomorrow to hopefully end this. But it goes all the way back. This bullpen has been good, but it goes all the way back to the trade deadline. And that's when I was hoping that the Blue Jays would do more. Could they? I don't know. I don't know what was out there. I don't know what they were offering, and I don't know what they could have added. But it's the volume of arms that they're lacking, I think. That the guys down in AAA, they have not been able to go down to AAA and grab what we thought was going to be a Thomas Hatch, a Casey Lawrence, an Anthony Kay. Some of those names that we thought they were going to go down to AAA and call up to spot start in a doubleheader. It just has not happened. And when I say volume of arms, I mean volume of quality arms. Not every team has it. Not every organization has it. But you have to be deep in that category to help overcome things. The one thing this year at the deadline that I felt strongest about, one deadline. There's not another deadline after it. So anything you do to try to improve your club, you had to do it then. They had Zach Pop and Anthony Bass, and Bass should be a good addition, but some of those guys could be getting gassed. Him and that Phelps. Phelps has been working a lot. Simber, we know, is leading the world in his appearances. So those things that you can't really add to what you were going to do. And right now, the other thing is you have to account maybe for some poor performance. Guys tiring down the stretch, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Can they overcome this? Absolutely. If we're having this conversation a week from now, it could be totally different, and they could be on a roll. They're hitting a little lull right now. It's a terrible time for it, but there's still, believe it or not, enough baseball left to make that postseason berth.
It's a good time to have Alek Manoah on the mound to help end a 3-game slide. Joe and I will return and preview the 3rd game of this 4-game series at the Trop. As I mentioned, Mr. Manoah on the mound. He'll try to put an end to this slide. Blue Jay Central will preview this one for you at 5:30 Eastern. We will see you then.